Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we're diving in to another full face. We're playing with some new makeup today, all very much in the luxury category. We've got some pretty pricey little babies here that we are playing with today, but a few launches that I was dying to get my hands on. They finally came in the mail, and naturally, as we do, I wanted to play with them in real time for you here on YouTube. So that's what we're doing today. If you like these full face videos, get ready with me as playing with new makeup, reviewing new makeup. Please give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos from me, and as well if there are any other products that you would like to see me review here on my channel. Any old favorites you want me to pull back out, please let me know in the comments down below. And without further ado, my friends, let's just zoom in and put some makeup on this face. To start the makeup, my brows are already on and we're going to begin with the base. I'm actually going to take my Smashbox primerizer. I'm sure at some point long ago I had mentioned that I was using a few products and trying to keep up with the little project pan thing, and this one was really forgotten in that moment, and I need to pull this back out and use her up before she expires. So I'm applying this all over. The cold weather has absolutely hit us here in BC. Winter is incoming and my skin is feeling dry. So I want to make sure I have a nice hydrated primed base before going in with foundation. And the new foundation that I have to talk about today is the very exciting new launch from Eldridge. This is her new Seamless Skin, the foundation, and I actually picked up 2 shades, and I want to talk about the foundation a little bit before we get into actually applying it. So the first thing I want to say is Eldridge is the queen of makeup, in my opinion. I have been following her forever. She's one of the OGs in the YouTube fam. She is an absolute global makeup artist phenomenon, and she's also so deeply into the history and the working parts of makeup. She's very, very passionate about makeup and beauty, and so everything that she makes in her own line, you just know is so thoughtfully created, and she has spent so much time and put so much passion into everything that she does. And you just know, like, she has so much knowledge, you know, she's right in there in the labs. She has so much ingredient knowledge, product knowledge. I just want to see what the inside of her brain looks like. I just think she's such a magical human. And anything that she launches, I'm going to try, regardless of what the price point is. So I was really, really excited when she announced that she was diving into skin, because thus far she's pretty much just played with like color products, and I was really looking forward to seeing what she would do with a foundation or base product. And so that's what's here today. And so with the foundation, it's a medium coverage foundation. It's a self-setting foundation. It's not a dewy or a matte finish. It's more like a skin-like finish. There's a lot of information and notes about the specific ingredients that are in the foundation on her website. And I have to say that her website is like very, very thorough in the description of the foundation, as well as the shade range. There's 40 shades of her foundation, which is incredible. And what I love about the website too is that they've included, again, such a thorough description of the shades, but they've also included photos of each shade match. And when you're scrolling through, you're like, absolutely everyone, yes, will be able to wear this foundation. She's done such a great job with the shade range, which is great. This is the box that it comes in. I absolutely love her logo. I think it's so beautiful, really, really nice feeling packaging. When you open it up, you get the foundation inside, which is such a cool shape. It's like Gaga's egg spaceship, isn't it? Really beautiful, modern looking packaging, but I love the gold. You guys know I'm a sucker for gold, and it's got the little flat edge for it to lay on your table, which is cool. This is the packaging here. And then when you lift the lid, you get a little pump in there. So really cool packaging. Interesting that it doesn't stand and that it does lay down. I got 2 shades. I got shades 5 and 6, and that was from my own little diagnoses from looking at the shades and the photos online. Obviously, we're going to test it out today and see how accurate my choice actually was. And I wanted to note the price. The price of the foundation is 44 British pounds, which is a very sad thing for those of us who live in Canada. Usually, like a rule of thumb for me in my mind, when I'm talking about the conversion from Canadian dollars, usually with British pounds, I just double it in my head. It's not always the case, but with tax, usually it ends up being just about double. It's very expensive, very, very high-end, top-tier price foundation. It is free shipping if you're spending a certain amount, depending on where it's shipping to. But I will say that I ordered the 2 shades, so it was 88 pounds for the foundations themselves. Then after the conversion, and then also when it got to Canada, there were import fees, which actually surprised me. It was 46 Canadian dollars to receive this package, which was really, really high. That was really high for what it is, and I was quite surprised, and I'm not sure what happened there, but for an order that was just barely over $100, I was very surprised at how high that was. So my total cost for these 2 foundations into Canadian dollars was $197.87. So basically it was $100 Canadian each for these foundations, which is literally like a Tom Ford pricing. So it's at the absolute highest price point. Out of all the products that I use in my life, it's definitely the top. I just wanted to note though, that is very expensive, and like all makeup products, there's always going to be a dupe. There's always going to be something that you can buy that will essentially give you the same look and the same feel. So though I love to play with luxe makeup here on my channel, I am a sucker for packaging. I love brands like Tom Ford and Dior. Like, I love to play. Just know, in my opinion, you will never need to spend $100 on a foundation, ever. Obviously, there are a lot of brands that end up sorting out their shipping, and it obviously wouldn't have been that expensive if import fees hadn't been included in that, but that was my purchase experience. That's how much it cost. Very, very high end. And let us dive into the actual product itself. So here are the two shades I've picked up. This is shade 5 and shade 6. Shade 5 has a little bit more of a pinky undertone. Shade 6 has a little bit more of a yellow undertone. And because my skin, like, typically I shop for the more neutral shades, or I try to anyway, I'm actually just going to mix these two together because I don't want it to pull entirely yellow and I don't want it to pull entirely pink. So I think I'm just going to mix the two together and create a lovely little neutral shade there on my hand. And then when they're talking about the application of this, they do say to start small and build it up. So even that, I'm just taking the tiniest bit on my fingers and it's already spreading out so much. Actually, that's super crazy. So in the launch of the foundations, she also launched the foundation brush. I didn't pick up the foundation brush, but because she launched the foundation brush to go with it, I figured I should just use my foundation brush as well as I'm applying it. And when I just put it on with my fingers there, it was really like, you can see the self-setting start to happen. I don't know if we have too much playtime here, but as I'm blending it out, it is literally sinking into my skin. Like, it is disappearing and looking like skin. That's pretty wild. It's pretty wild. It also looks like definitely such a natural finish. I'm going to see if I can build it up, but I'm going to go ahead and put one layer on my entire face and see how it looks at the end. So I've applied the first layer and right away I'm seeing a lot of separation on my forehead. I'm not sure if it's going to be showing up in the camera, but I can just see the product. It's really, really highlighting like any of the texture that I have on my forehead. And then I've also got a lot of the pigment settling into the texture on my chin. So in the future, it might be worth trying on perhaps a heavier, more moisturizing primer, like the Welleda Skin Food, like something a little bit more thick, because right away it's definitely highlighted a lot of my texture. I'm gonna go in and try adding another layer with my beauty blender. Sometimes the wetness in the beauty blender can kind of help to like melt product into the skin. I also haven't used a makeup brush in like quite a long time, so I might just do another layer, and it does say it's buildable coverage. So you can use a small amount for lighter coverage and you can build it up to have a more full coverage. So I'm gonna go ahead and use my beauty blender and try to apply a secondary layer on the skin and see if that helps it to kind of absorb into the face. So I've applied the second layer, definitely getting the self-setting aspect. I do find this to be much more matte on my skin, and the texture is still very, 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 very apparent on my forehead. I'm not sure what's happening there. I'm sure that this isn't supposed to be the case. While it has a very, very skin-like finish, I can just see the product on my skin. I see it around my mouth. It's really, really piling up here on my chin and on my forehead. So that's pretty disappointing, honestly. Like, that hasn't been happening a lot for me when it comes to foundations lately. I feel like so many products I've been using have been like really nice and like supple and sinking into the skin very nicely, but this is like definitely sitting on top of my skin. I'm getting a little bit of pilling on my chin as well. Yeah, I don't know. First impressions, like not my favorite for sure. It's really just really, really, really highlighting my texture. So I'm going to continue doing the rest of my makeup. Sometimes base products take a little while to soak in and settle into the skin and kind of absorb. So I'll give it the benefit of the doubt for now. But yeah, if it remains like this, I don't know if it would be an option that I would suggest for my dry skin pals. All right, I'm going to go ahead and apply some concealer. It actually did a really great job of covering up the bits I need, but I could use a little extra help. So I'm just taking my Makeup Forever concealer here here. And I'm just gonna do my normal highlighting spots. And I'm just gonna take my beauty blender to blend that in. So now that we have concealed, we have a nice flawless base, I'm gonna go ahead and warm up my complexion and use some contour and bronzer in this Huda Beauty Tan Tour. Pulled this back out of the stash, forgot how much I love this, even though I know it hasn't been that long. But it's a gorgeous product, and a little bit absolutely goes a long, long way. So I'm just gonna take my Smith 157 brush and just blend this out on the skin and warm up my complexion. I am upset about this, but my skin is just looking very, very dry. Like even the bronzer was just not blending out the same. My skin's feeling very, very dry. I'm just gonna take some MAC Fix Plus. Let that kind of soak in. Oh my word. Give it a little boost of hydration. I feel like that's gonna help. I might do a couple spritzes of Fix Plus throughout this adventure as we go along. But yeah, my skin's feeling dry right now. Definitely don't need to powder at this time. Now let's move on to the blush. I picked up 2 shades of the new Victoria Beckham Beauty Cheeky Posh blushes. Really excited about this. Victoria Beckham, like the products, yes, they are absolutely on the higher end. She's been very open about that, how she wants to make luxurious luxury beauty products. And it's the packaging. Like I can say hands down, the Victoria Beckham Beauty line across the board has my favorite packaging out of absolutely anything. I just love the packaging. I love that it's consistent throughout all the products, and I think it's so beautiful. You will definitely be seeing some Victoria Beckham Beauty in the upcoming Landmas giveaways. I am such a fan, and the products have performed so beautifully. I was very excited about the blushes. I know it's taken me a minute to get my hands on them, but I did pick up 2 shades. I got Major and Knickers. This is the packaging here, really beautiful, nice, like solid, heavy tortoiseshell packaging tubes. It's super beautiful. You got the little VB on the top here, and here is what the blush looks like inside. Really, really beautiful. Okay, this is the shade Knickers. Honestly, it's more coral than I thought it was gonna be. I thought that was gonna be more of a pink. Ah, here's the pink. And this is the shade Major. Really beautiful, really, really creamy. Let's give it a go. Let's apply it. I'm going to use the shade Major on my cheeks today. So even considering how dry feeling my skin is right now, this blended out really beautifully, really, really easily with my finger. Sometimes I get really annoyed when I'm blending out cream blushes and I want to go use a brush. But this was actually super easy to blend into the skin, which is very exciting. Very easy to use product for every day. And the color is like obviously very pigmented, but not so much so that I'm going overboard. Like it's just blending out into a very, very natural finish on the skin. So that is the blush applied. Really beautiful. I love this color. This is an ideal color for me to use every day. It's kind of like like a deep pink, more on the berry end. It's like a raspberry color. I really, really like this color. Nothing new to see here in terms of like product. You know, we have a bajillion cream blushes that we can choose from on the market. Like again, I just think Victoria Beckham Beauty wins in terms of packaging, and this is just very easy for the everyday gal to put in the bag. Like it wouldn't take up a lot of space, very, very travel friendly, and it's beautiful. It's very satisfying packaging to use, and the product is gorgeous. It's definitely got a nice little glow there, but there's no shimmery bits in here, which is very nice. It's not going to settle into any pores or emphasize any texture. Really like it, and it was very, very easy to blend into the skin. Okay, let's talk about highlighters for a second. I'm making an assumption here. I assumed that this was a new product, but it could have also just been a shade extension. I'm not sure. I haven't actually seen these before myself, but I did get a package in from Dior, which was very nice. And this is the Dior Forever Couture Luminizers. Now, from what I checked online, Sephora carries 4 of the shades, and the Dior website itself actually had 6 of the shades. And I do have the shade extensions here. Sephora carries 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I also have 5 and 6 here. And I was actually really excited about these as highlighters because I thought that they could be actually really nice multi-use products, and I shall explain to you why. Okay, so first of all, here's the packaging. Absolutely gorgeous. It's like a true like smushy cushion here, really, really cute. And then you've got the powder luminizer inside. Again, there's 6 shades of these. They vary from like the whitest, most pearlescent to the more deep shades that would be such beautiful highlights on deeper skin tones. So this one right here, number 1 Nude Glow, for example, would be the perfect like classic, more golden champagne highlight for my skin tone. And then you have something like this, which is number 5 Rosewood Glow. That's like a really nice, deep, almost kind of like warm bronzed color. And the reason why I'm actually really excited about this, even for my skin tone, is it kind of reminds me of like the classic use of the MAC mineralized skin finishes. And I don't know about you guys, but back in the day, like I remember in grade 12, a friend of mine had a mineralized skin finish. I actually don't remember what color she would have had. I imagine it was soft and gentle, but I remember the first time she showed me how she used it. She actually didn't use it like a highlight, because I think even then the common consumer didn't know about contouring and highlighting. It wasn't quite a thing yet. It wasn't like a trend. It wasn't knowledge that we had at the time. And I remember she used to just take this powder and dust it across her cheeks, and she used it like a finishing powder. And that was kind of how we also used it at MAC. Like it was an overall like glowing finishing powder. And you guys know how I love to go over my makeup at the end with my glowing bronzer, so something like the Hula Glow. And even though I don't think that this is a necessary product, like you can just use it like a highlight, I just opened these two, number 5 Rosewood Glow and number 6 Coral Glow, and I was like, what a beautiful product this would be as a blush or like a finishing powder, like on top of your blush, just finishing the skin with this gorgeous like warm glow. And then they have colors to complement any kind of color that you're going for. This like coral color, this bronzy color, then this one's pink glow. Like I just imagine this paired with their Backstage pink blush, like putting that on top of it to add a glow. Maybe you're using a matte blush, but you want something to be a little bit more glowy on top. Like, I don't know. I just saw these and I was like, yes, I'm going to use these as finishing powders. They are so beautiful. So I thought that was cool. I think they are just meant to be highlights, but if you wanted to use the deeper shades, if you have a lighter skin tone and you wanted to play with it a little bit more, kind of using these like a finishing powder. So I'm going to use the highlight for now, and then I might go over at the end with Rosewood Glow and see how we feel and just add a glow all over our skin. And it might be magical, it might not be, but we'll give it a go. So I'm gonna take the shade Nude Glow, and I'm just gonna apply this onto the high points like I would your classic typical highlighter. Make sure to put that on the nose. Oh yeah, such a good color. And I actually like that it's truly a glow. It's not like a shimmery highlight. There's no chunky bits sticking on your skin. Like it's very much a natural melting into your skin glow feeling. Like look at it on my nose. Oh my god, it's so cute. I'm really, really excited about these. These are beautiful. So I'm gonna leave that for now. We'll revisit Rosewood later. And until then, let's move on to the eyes. Now, this isn't a new product necessarily, but it's something that I have just been really meaning to play with. The La Bouche Rouge brand, absolutely gorgeous, very, very luxurious, very sustainable in their packaging efforts. All of their packaging is refillable. You can totally curate what colors you want, what type of packaging you want. And then when you use up a product, it's completely refillable. So it's nice. The idea is that no packaging is to be wasted. So they had actually sent me these 2 eyeshadow palettes in these beautiful monogrammed leather pouches, which is so beautiful. If you can see on the edge here, there's a little AD on each of the packages, which again is always hilarious because as a content creator on YouTube and Instagram, it's very unfortunate that my initials spell out ad. So just know, this isn't an ad, this is just Alana Davison. And it's just really gorgeous packaging. I've used their products before, but I've been really wanting to play with these eyeshadow palettes that they sent over. So you can see here, this is the package that it comes in. And these actual containers house any of their powder products. So you can buy a powder, you can buy a blush, highlight, any of their eyeshadow palettes, and it all fits into these lovely little packages. And once you're done and you've used it up, you can refill it with something else after. So that's really, really nice. This is one of their palette offerings. This is lovely for very neutral, cool toned browns for every day. That's really nice. And then I've also got this one here. Which is a gorgeous shimmery palette to complement it. Really reminds me of the Victoria Beckham Beauty eyeshadow palette lineups, but just gorgeous colors, perfect for every day. And then you've got some really lovely, like rich shimmery shadows here to complement it. So I kind of just, I'm not gonna do anything too intense on my eyes today. I just wanna do a nice light everyday smoke on the eyeballs, but I wanted to play with these because I have been meaning to for quite some time. So I'm gonna start with the mattes here. I'm actually gonna start with this shade. And I don't know what the concealer situation is on my eyes. Yeah, see, I always get a little bit of concealer buildup here. So Just want to make sure to smudge that out and then put something on it to set it in. So I'm just going to take this shadow. And you know what? I'm actually going to run this all over my eyelid as well. And just pack that on to make sure that everything's set in the eye here. And then also giving us a lovely little wash of color. I'm going to go and apply this shadow straight onto the lower lash line as well. And then I'm going to take a bit of this deeper warm brown and just press that right here onto the lash line. And I'm just going to lightly like bring that into the crease. I'm just kind of patting it along the lash line and then dragging it into the crease, but not dragging, I'm patting it. And just as you continue patting it and blending out, it just continues to get smokier and more soft. And then you just end up with a really nice and easy, natural looking smoky eye. I'm going to take a teeny tiny bit of this deep shade, the deepest shade in the little palette here, and just press that a little bit right onto my lash line. Just right into the lashes, just really lightly pressing that in. I'm not getting any fallout onto the face, which is really, really nice for these deeper shades as well. So it is officially everyday rushed makeup approved. So then what I'm going to do actually is dip into the little shimmery palette. I'm going to take this gorgeous shimmering bronze shade right here with the same brush that I pat in the original crease smoky shade. And I'm actually just going to use this to fuse the two together. I'm just going to pat this over the line we just created. And that's going to add a little bit of like really pretty bronze shimmer to the eye, but it's also just blending out any line that might be there between the two brown shades on our lash line. And I think it's just a really pretty little bit of shimmery glow on the eyes. And that color, you know what, let's just swatch this actually. They are so creamy and so beautiful. Look at this bronze shadow. This is what we're putting onto our eyes right now, and it is beautiful. I definitely don't give enough love to the La Bouche Rouge products that I have in my collection. I don't know why. Like, they're one of those products where if I were to completely streamline my makeup collection, like these are the types of products that would remain in my makeup collection. They're just gorgeous and they're so easy to use for every day. You know what? I'm actually going to take, this little shimmery shade here, the little golden shimmer one, and I'm just going to put that right into the inner corner. I was needing a little bit of life here. What the heck? Let's put a little bit on the brow bone too. All right, so those are the eyeshadow palettes, my friends. I'm gonna go ahead and finish off the eyes with some mascara. I'm gonna take my Tom Ford Badass Black Extreme Mascara. I'm gonna apply some of this. I'll be back with you to finish off with the lips. Okay, so the mascara is applied. Let's go ahead and move on to the lips. Now, I made a joke recently when I was talking about the Ella Lou's lip stain, and I was like, oh my god, it's been so long since I've used a lip stain. Like, I'm so happy to have rediscovered these and had them back in my collection. And someone was like, hello, what about the Victoria Beckham lip stains? And I was like, wow. You are very correct. So when I made the order for my Victoria Beckham blushes, I actually decided to pick up their latest color in the lip stain. And I don't know if I had this before. If I did, I have no idea what happened to it, but I am assuming that this was a newer shade. I know I had the cherry lip stain before, but I decided to pick up the Bisou, which seems to be a little bit more of a deeper berry, which is perfect for the season that we are headed into. And I wanted to go ahead and give this a go. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, this is absolutely beautiful. Absolutely the vibe we are going for. This color reminds me of the old Clinique. Oh god, what's it called? Black something? What is it called? Oh my god, I used to use it forever. I got my mom really hooked on it once too. That Clinique lip product is what this reminds me of. In terms of color anyway, but I do love this lip stain, especially if you're doing your everyday makeup. Like, this is something, I don't know if you guys remember this, but there's a video that I filmed. I think it was actually a luxury makeup full face or something, and I remember doing my makeup being like, this is how I want to do my makeup forever. It was when I really got into the whole like classy lady phrase. It's when I still lived in Calgary, and that's very much the feeling that this makeup is giving me. Like, this is very like classy lady vibes, like very, very done up with the makeup, but still very appropriate for every day. Like if I had an office job and I was getting dressed in a suit every day, like this is the makeup that I would be doing, especially something like a lip stain to make sure that it is lasting as long as possible when you're out all day. Like this is the perfect like working woman, badass makeup. I'm loving the vibes that we're getting today with this makeup look. Yeah, I love that. Like a true deep berry wine tint. This is much more on the purpley berry end than the Eldridge color, for example. Beautiful and beautiful packaging. As always, this is the Bitten lip tint. Sorry, I didn't say that. So that's the lip. And if you do have dry lips, like I have tragically dry lips, what's nice about the lip stain is you can always go over with your lip balm on top of it. You're still getting the color, you're still getting the stain there. But if you want a little bit of gloss and a little bit of extra hydration, you can just go ahead and apply your lip balm on top. This is the Malin & Getz lip moisturizer. Okay, so now that our makeup is done, we could end here, but I do want to go back to the Rosewood Glow Dior Couture Luminizer, and I just want to try using this as a little finishing powder all over the skin. I feel like it's just that perfect like deep bronzy glow color that's going to be gorgeous to just finish off our makeup with. So like I would apply my glowy bronzer at the end of the makeup, I'm just kind of taking that along the tops of my cheeks, and I'm going to take that along my forehead as well, and just add a gorgeous finishing glow to the skin. I think that's a super nice option to have if you don't want any shimmery chunky bits on your skin, but you do just want to add a lovely warm glow to pair with like a matte bronzer or something. Obviously you can also just buy something like the Benefit Hoola Glow, but it's nice that there's like a little bit of warmth, like kind of a little bit of a pink in there. It just gives a really natural looking glow to the skin. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and apply another dose of MAC Fix Plus. And I'm also going to apply my Benefit Professional Setting Spray. I'm gonna let that soak into the skin. So this is the finished look. As for an update on the Lisa Eldridge foundation, as we've sat here and played, and as we've put 20 pounds of setting spray and hydrating spray onto our face, it has really sunken into the skin. As far as seamless skin goes, like in the title, you really can't tell the difference. Like this does look like my skin, which is amazing. There's just a few places where it's just really highlighted the texture, where it's built up texture, like on my forehead, above my mouth, and on my chin. So I really love the idea of this foundation. I think it performed beautifully in terms of like how it looks on the rest of my skin, like not on the dry patches. It's crazy. Like I've got some medium to full coverage going on here, but it literally looks like my skin, and I have such high hopes for that. I just really want to try it with more of a thick base, or maybe on a day where my skin isn't looking as dry. I think it just is more of a matte finish foundation, even though it's supposed to be like a natural skin finish. For me, with like very, very dry skin, I think it's just pulling more on the matte side. And sometimes I do love to play with matte foundations. I just need to, you know, make the prep work of my skin a little bit better. And because it is more on the matte side, and because it is so natural looking on the skin, I think it will last beautifully. We've already discussed the price of it, you know my thoughts on that, but I'll definitely have to keep playing with it and let you guys know my full thoughts at a later date. I might update you in a vlog coming up here, maybe before Landmas happens, but I will absolutely keep playing with it and let you know my full thoughts. But as far as the finished makeup look goes, like if you're not looking right up close onto those textured spots, my skin looks phenomenal. Like this makeup looks flawless. As for the rest of the products, like I think everything I've used today are products that I will absolutely use again. I would love to know your thoughts, what you think of the products that I used here today, and what you think of the finished look. Thank you so much for getting ready with me today and playing with this full face of makeup. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you all very soon for a new video. Bye!